All right, now we got a movie called Tonight You're Sleeping With Me. So it starts off with this lady by the name of Nina. She's chilling with her two daughters. They just have a happy family, happy life, right? And then Michael comes in and the tone kind of changes a little bit. They're supposed to be married, right? But you can tell something's not, all happy dappy with each other. You know what I'm saying? So then we see Nina going to work, and I guess she works for like some type of fashion and design and pictures and stuff like that. And she ends up seeing this dude by the name of Jay. Now, who's Jay? Jay was somebody she was smashing like over a decade ago. So what's he doing there? Well, apparently he's going to be her new assistant. So basically, while they trying to come up with ideas and stuff like that, here comes this girl named Angie. Angie works at the company too. Now, at this point, she's trying to get at Jay. But Jay only has eyes for Nina, and obviously Nina's married with kids. So she's picking up all this extra work, and then it's like, oh, she's got to be able to pick up the kids. So she calls up Michael, but Michael's got a bunch of business meetings he's got to go to right now anyway. The thing is, she doesn't want to call her mom, because she feels like she'll owe her or something like that. But the thing is, Michael ends up calling her mom anyway. And her mother loves Michael. So later on afterwards, she goes to visit her dad's house. And he's always giving her advice and stuff like that. So she's thinking to herself like, where's mom? And dad had to let her know that she just picked up the kids. Obviously, she didn't know. And then they all get together and have a nice dinner. So meanwhile, Jay's got his own spot, but he's like, chilling, making sure his sister's good. And he's single too. But his sister got like 2 kids, but that's another part of the story. You would think it's actually relevant to the story, but it's actually kind of not. So anyway, basically, he's trying to get his Nina back. Obviously, she's living a whole different life now. You know what I'm saying? She's married, 2 kids. But Nina's sex life with her husband is not really in tip-top shape. And then on top of that, he's supposed to be going to some type of business arrangement in like Argentina for like a month. And she's basically going to leave her with the kids. Now she's tripping on the fact that she got a raise in her job and she's going to be doing more work. So she thinks to herself, how's she going to have time to do that and watch the kids? Which means she's going to be forced to ask her mother to watch the kids every now and then. So basically, he's about to go off on this trip. You all know the deal. Nina and Jay start getting closer. Then it gets to a point where one of her kids gets sick. Now she's trying to find the first aid kit at home, but she can't find it. Apparently, Michael took it with him on his trip. So his trip is basically like some type of like a retreat. He's basically just walking around the Netherlands. I'm like, okay. So because of the fact she doesn't want to ask her mother for stuff, she asks for Jay. And Jay comes through, gets all the medicine and everything like that, gets stuff for Nina, he even gets stuff to Michael when he comes back. And he picks up a bunch of soups and teas and stuff like that too. Now before Nina called Jay, Jay was actually chilling with Angie. Because she's trying to shoot her shot. And so when he goes to help, obviously Angie over there hating. But technically, you think it'd be reasonable because she's thinking to herself, like, why does he keep going after a married woman? Like, come on, cut it out. But to the audience, it's just going to come off as her hating, right? So basically, her kids are still getting better, and then eventually her mom comes over to help out because she ended up getting a call from Michael. And he could tell that Nina been feeling some type of way. So now that mom is watching after the kids, guess what Nina's doing? Chilling with Jay. She got to a point where she went over to his house, and they finally get it, and he giving her business. Now it gets to a point he's like taking her to spas and whatnot. And she's basically falling in love with this dude all over again. Then she tries to have the talk with her mom, but she just wants her mom to be on her side. And obviously mom is like, oh, you got to watch after family. Family comes first. So basically at that point, it starts to get to Nina. And then she's like, yeah, Jay, we can't be doing this no more. You know what I'm saying? But then it gets to a point she's watching her kids and she's got to have, get some advice from her dad. Turns out dad felt like he was stuck with her mom too. But he decided on family first and whatnot. Even though psychologically he's thinking to himself he really didn't want to. So basically Nina's got to make a decision. Either leave your husband and your kids will probably be disappointed in you or whatever the case is, or stick around and ignore your happiness, I guess. She ends up popping over at Jay's house and once again giving her business. Now at this point, Michael was trying to call her again. And basically at this point she's getting it in. And I don't even know how the phone picked up and it just landed on the ground. He can hear the moaning in the background. And now he know his wife is doing dirty deeds. He starts walking around the plateau or whatever like that. Then he gets to this other cabin or whatever. And he starts talking to this dude. This dude talks about how he broke up with his girl. But 2 months after the fact, she ended up dying because of cancer. The thing is, he never even knew she had it. And then the dude left after that, and then Michael's just distraught about everything. Later on, Nina ends up calling Michael, and Michael spills the beans. He found out, you know what I'm saying? So now she's tripping. She don't know what to do. So it gets to a point she's thinking to herself she really wants to be in her kid's life, but she also wants Jay, and she's falling in love with him. So what she's going to do is take a trip to Argentina and tell him himself instead of doing it over the phone. Meanwhile, Michael's walking around again, distraught, whatever like that. He comes to this little crevices. In the crevices, the man that he was talking to earlier, he's laying down in the joint. You're thinking to yourself like, oh God, is he dead? Did he fall in that bitch? So he calls a search and rescue team for help or whatever like that. Now, meanwhile, after he does that, make the call and give the location and all that, he ends up going down there trying to get him and try to, revive him or whatever. But as he's going down, he slips down there and he's basically knocked out. So now we got the search and rescue squad lady that's about to pick up Nina, and they about to go head over to Michael. So then they're talking, and then the search and rescue lady's talking about that she was married and she had like 3 kids, but apparently they got like an open relationship or something like that. It's all about being happy and all. It's like there's a little bit of dialogue. Then they hear on the news, and then they get the information that Michael's down in the crevice too. So Jay is about to prepare dinner, and he's trying to make sure everything's popping. He's gonna get it popping at like 4 o'clock or something like that. And as he's talking to her, she's like, "I can't be with you no more," whatever like that. So He kind of got pissed off, and I understand it going the back and forth. But the thing is, at the time, she didn't tell him why. So basically, they pick up both dudes. We don't know what happened to the other guy, but as far as Michael goes, he's been in a coma, and he's gonna be in a coma for like 4 days. Jay ends up coming to the hospital to see her like one last time, and he says, regardless of everything, I'll always be there for you. He got like a little care package to help out Michael, whatever like that. Gives her a kiss and then walks out. So she goes in the hospital room. Michael finally wakes up. And the thing is, he knows how he's been acting, even though, you know what I'm saying, she was cheating on him. But the thing is, he ends up forgiving her anyway. I mean, whether it's his 2 kids, maybe trying to keep the family happy, whether it's a near-death experience, bottom line is, he's forgiving her. Last thing we see is her walking out of the hospital, and then she's like staring into the ocean. So basically, she decided to stay with her husband. And that's pretty much it. Tonight, You Sleeping With Me on Netflix. Check it out.